How you all feeling? Good. It's been a long day. I've been sat at the back looking at all the or listening to all the speakers, and I've realised that I've not thought about my talk all day, and I've just completely blanked. If I was an emoji at this moment, I'd be this. Also, just in case you're worried, they haven't moved the stage back. I'm actually this short. So, I'm going to be speaking about Mundaneaday, not Hyper Island, but I will touch on Hyper Island. But I do want you to do something for me first. I don't know where the flicker is. There it is. I'd like you to look at the person next to you, and with your eyes, not your mouth, smile at them. Give it a really good smile with your eyes. Look into their eyes. Okay? Now you can smile. Do a really nice big smile for me. Did it get a bit creepy for some people? Good. This is how we like to go. That's what's called a positive Tetris effect. So to build on that, how many of you played so much Tetris that you could see the shapes in real life? You'd be walking around playing it. Put your hands up. How many people has that happened to? Oh, not that many. You didn't play enough Tetris. When you smile, even if it's a fake smile, it floods your body with sort of the good feeling, endorphins. And it doesn't matter that it's not a really good, not a real smile. It's fine. It actually makes you feel good. So it's about turning those things where you can, as humans, we go to the negative side, about turning it into the positive. This has nothing to do with my talk. I just want you to feel a bit good. Or creeped out, that's fine too. And also, thank you very much, TEDx, for completely mirroring what I did with my slides. It was a complete coincidence, and I could have just bluffed it then. But actually what it is, it's meant to be a red thread from the front. So imagine there's a giant red thread going through all of the slides. I thought this was a genius idea, and I told a few of my friends after I'd drawn all of the slides, and they were like, what the hell's a red thread? I was like, So Hyper Island is based in Sweden. I work with a lot of Swedish people, and they have a thing called the red thread that pulls through a story. I hadn't thought that they'd got into my brain and the red thread was a normal thing. So just so you know why there's a red dot or a red thread that goes all the way through, I'm going to tell you a little story. The Minotaur, back in sort of Greek mythology, basically used to get fed Athenians. They used to deliver a bunch of Athenians, and he would just gobble them up in his labyrinth. And then one day, Theseus came along, and he went into the labyrinth, and he was like, you are not eating my mates anymore. That is quoted. Not doing that. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to kill him, and I'm going to save the Athenians. And Adrian, the daughter of the king, gave him a ball of red thread. And it's as simple as that. He used the red thread, he slayed that Minotaur, and then found his way back and saved the Athenians. So, again, nothing really to do with my talk, but now you understand what the red dot is. My name's Tash. If I do blank out, I've learnt how to beatbox today. Don't worry, it'll be amazing. It won't, it'll be shit. I'm actually going to be talking about habits. So, making healthy habits. I put out on Twitter and sort of different places, I say habits, you say, and then loads of people just put rabbits, a lot of rabbits for some reason. Dirty habits, drug habits, smack habits, can't remember some of them. An illusion of the mind, not quite sure that one was. Coconut oil addiction. Fun, safety blankets, the majority of them were bad habits. And I had to think about it, and I am not stood up here, and I'm not going to preach to you about having healthy habits and going and having a smoothie. I'm incredibly good at drinking. I'm pretty good at smoking. Pretty much any bad habit, I'm like, oh, here I go, gonna drink, which I did last night, which I shouldn't have done. Okay, so I'm gonna go into a good habit that did have a good effect on me. So we have booze, we have fags, we have all these amazing things that we can sort of get on with. And then they went and invented the internet. I've got a pretty addictive personality. I spent months and months tapping away on the internet, wasting hours and hours and hours of my time. Getting those endorphins flowing, the dopamine coming out because somebody liked my post about a squirrel. And then I realised I was just wasting my evenings. At that point, I was working in a university, I had 300 students, they were all incredible. And I'd stopped working. I'd stopped doing design. I'd stopped sort of like drawing or doing anything like that. And I saw a podcast. I didn't see a podcast. You can't see a podcast. I listened to a podcast by Ira Glass. And he said this amazing thing. Right, this can be magic now if you go with me. He said, as creatives and artists and designers, we can see the amazing thing at the end. We understand taste. And we're here. Right, everybody shut their eyes. Open them again. And we want to be here. Thank you. Yeah, but the problem is, most of us here don't want to make that walk. We don't want to put the effort in. We think we can just be that good straight away. And Ira Glass talks about this gap, and it got me really thinking about it, and thinking about what I was doing with the students and how I can enable them to see that they could go from there to there. So what I committed to was doing one typographic drawing every single day. And initially, it was only really meant to last for 3 months. It's 4.5 years later, and I still do one every single day. The bravest thing out of this was, is that going to come up? Oops. A lot of them were shit to begin with. They're still quite bad. But I was putting myself out there. And that is Mundaneaday. So, by day, I now work at Hyper Island. I'm a program leader. We don't have teachers. You're not allowed to call me a teacher. I work with incredible students. They blow my mind every day. We run 2 masters. And then, I'm going to just keep running to and fro, just go with it. At night, I'm Mundaneaday. How sexy is that name? Yeah. So I started Mundaneaday. I have no clients. It's not for anybody else. It's purely for me. The idea of Mundaneaday was I just sort of celebrated really small, boring things in life. It didn't matter what they were. Is it gone? No. Can we click thank you? I can't make excuses. If I have a horrendous hangover, I draw about my horrendous hangover. I have to ship it every single day. And the great thing about that is I've made this weird commitment to a load of people. I don't know who's looking at this. I don't know if anyone's looking at this. But what's quite nice, I have this invisible audience that I feel that I have to put it out there for them. I do actually get people, if I don't post, going, where's your Mundaneaday today? I was waiting for that. I was going to read about that to my kid. Like I said, they've not all been amazing. These are the first 4 that I ever did. And when I say it's mundane, the first one I did was bought 2 bottles of olive oil, half price. Bargain. Peas couscous, 4 days in a row. Shows something about me. The second day screwed me over a little bit because a meteor hit Russia. That wasn't that mundane, but I went with it. So those 4 are in the first week. These ones, I found this new flashy brush pen. I was really excited. These are almost a year later. At the time, I was like, these are brilliant. Now I look back at them and go, why did I think they were brilliant? But it's great. I can see that journey. It's almost like a visual diary that can keep going and going. And as time's gone by, hopefully, I've got better. So these ones took the same amount of time as the ones you saw before. These are about 4 years in. And the other great thing about it is it's enabled me to meet some amazing people. Because I throw it out there all the time. People like Blab come and chat to me and go, do you want to do a poster? I'm like, yeah, let's do a poster. This will be amazing. Jenny Theolon spoke. I ended up doing an exhibition with Jenny. We've actually ended up working together now. I get to do the Let's Do It poster, which was for charity. They're not clients, they're friends, and I do this because I want to do it. The whole idea is it doesn't turn into a job. It's just something that I can really play with. So back to habits. Your eyes haven't gone blurry. This is just a blurry slide. I apologise. I've forgotten the man's name. Maxwell Maltz in 1950, he was a plastic surgeon. And what he noticed was it took about 21 days for people to get used to their new nose, or sort of like what's changed about themselves. About 21 days. I doubled this and went, wait a minute, that's 42. In Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the answer to life, the earth, and everything is 42. Maybe there's something in this. There isn't. 21 days. Everyone really likes that. That sounds really nice and simple. You can create a sort of a habit. You can get used to something. So if you want to drink a glass of water every day, you could do that. But when it's bigger things, it takes longer. We want that commitment straight away. You're going to have to put the work in for it. Seinfeld, the comedian, what he does is he has a calendar that's up all the time, and he puts a red cross on it every day that he's done his work. And then you create this thing that you don't want to break that link. He's kept that going. And now he's got hundreds and hundreds of calendars, all with these red crosses. And again, with Mundaneaday, because I put it up on Instagram every day, I'm terrified of breaking that cycle. It's great. It's made me commit to something. It also had weird little side effects. I'm not going to talk about diarrhea or anything, don't worry. Weird side effects were, it started having sort of effects in my life. I noticed that I really got into this, like, we have far too much choice out there. Again, Barry Schwartz, he talks about more is less. It's sort of building up on what you were talking about. Everyone's like, who's you? I'm just pointing there. I realised that I was spent about 5 minutes in the supermarket staring at 26 different types of toilet paper one day. Just in that, like, I don't know which one to buy. I'm just going to wipe my ass. Just buy the first one that's there, okay? So what I started doing is trying to sort of like take those decisions out of the curve. I also noticed I just started wearing black all the time. That's not a spelling mistake. It is than you, not thank you. Somebody pointed out. I just started wearing black all the time. And again, at first it wasn't a conscious thing. I just started doing it because it was well easier. When I go shopping, which I rarely do now because there's only so many black tops you can buy. And when I get up in the morning, I am effortlessly this chic straight away. I don't really have to think about what I wear. And I actually quite like that. I noticed this morning I'd taken it up to another level. Last night, I on Facebook for the alumni students, I put, which shoes shall I wear tomorrow? Shall I wear my Adidas or some heels? And they all went Adidas. And when I got up, I was like, yeah, I'll wear Adidas, that's fine. So I took that choice out of the equation. It's stop making excuses. Stop putting barriers in front of yourself. So the Odysseus protocol by Dr. Ali Banzai, who's Dr. Happiness. He's a happiness engineer. I don't know what he does, but I want to do it. He basically talks about Odysseus. When he was on the sailing, the thing said time's up and now I'm completely gone. I'm going to look over here. So Odysseus was going past the sirens. The sirens are going to lure him in. But he really wants to hear them sing. He hears that they're amazing. So what he does is, he gets his sailors to tie him up so he can't go out into the sea and sort of be killed. He gets the sailors to put wax in their ears so they can't hear them, they won't die either. And what I'm trying to say here is, if there's something holding you back, find a way of getting around it. Don't use that as an excuse to not do it. Also, don't do it on the 1st of January. All you're doing is surrounding yourself with a load of people who are going to give up by the end of January. Do it when you want to do it. So if you decide, this is what I'm going to do, go out and do it. Don't wait till January. I have a new thing, which is say yes to everything and no 3 times a day. I realise this is impossible, and I'm really bad at saying no, it appears, but I'm going to try. Cool. The last couple of things, you're going to have to read this. Basically, in a millennial's lifetime, they will take 25,000 selfies. 25,000! One selfie takes 7 minutes. On average, they take 9 a week, and it adds up to 54 hours per year. 70 hours of our waking life is in front of digital media. 2 years watching commercials. Average employees spend 2 years sitting in work meetings, and you spend a total of 92 days on the toilet. I'm not suggesting that you stop going to the toilet, but I am suggesting that you think about what you're actually spending your time doing. Our brains are amazing. Our brains are amazing. What they do, and that spelling mistake is intentional. It's not. What they do is they fill up over time. Everybody used to think that as soon as your brain was full, it was static, it never changed. But it does. So you can spend hours and hours shaping those neurons with a little, I've forgotten what the word is. I'm going to say synapses in the middle. Shaping them and strengthening that synapsis and worrying about who you're fighting with at work. It gets stronger and stronger. Loads of gossip about Hollyoaks gets stronger and stronger. Who's going to fight who in the next Game of Thrones series? Stronger and stronger. And what's happening in the background is all the little things that are really good, like when you learnt violin, or sort of like new languages, all the good stuff that you're not practicing gets protein markers on. And the little brain gardeners, which are a real thing, go around and they find the proteins and they snip the synapses away and they get rid of them. So all you end up doing is strengthening that part of your brain that knows a hell of a lot about Hollyoaks. I do know a lot about Hollyoaks, I will admit. So if you take one thing away from today, is just think about what you're actually spending your time on and maybe commit to doing one thing a day. And I'm just going to finish on, I don't live my life for likes, but I do like a like. Like me.